close eye on her children.
Hello everyone, welcome back. I'll be testing our creators on my HP Victus 15 that has a Ryzen 5 7000 series and an RTX 2050. Alright, so this is the lowest settings, and note the game is being recorded using the laptop's GPU, using the NVIDIA experience. So notice there'll be probably, I think, 7 to 10% drop in FPS, and due to this is not an external monitor, this is the laptop screen, we should also have like I think 10 FPS dip, so total should be probably like 20 FPS. It's rounded up, so any FPS we're getting, you should just add like 15 more FPS to it, and that should be the actual FPS if you're going to be using it plugged in to an external monitor. So at medium settings we're getting an average of 66 FPS and it's smooth. And there is something I noticed later on in the video, we will talk about that. Okay, so still averaging a 60 FPS, which is totally playable. We have clear textures and a good load distance. Everything seems to work well, and due to the laptop is overclocked, I mean the CPU, it's running at its boost clock speed, which is a steady 4000 to 3000 megahertz. We're not having any stutters or any dips. It is purely smooth throughout this video. There was no freeze, there was no lag, just a low FPS at very high graphics. We'll get to that very soon. But as you can see, the textures are clear, crisp clear, everything looks good, everything works fine. The CPU and GPU are all being used, you can tell from the percentage, and you could see the temperatures. Now the CPU temperature is that high because it is it's running at its boost clock speed, which is 4000 megahertz, and I'll show you the original clock speed, but that'll be later on in the video. Okay, so this is at high graphics, and if you notice, we're getting more FPS than when we're running medium. That is what I said I'll mention later on. Like, this is high, we should be getting lower, probably will be in our 40s, but no, we're getting higher FPS than the medium. Okay, so I think it's something that has to do with maps. Okay, because the first time I played this game, the first map I used, I can't recall the name, I was getting up to 100 FPS at lowest setting. I was getting 100 FPS, 100 to 120. But after that I haven't gotten that much. It fluctuates. Sometimes I get the 144, even on this same map I get 144 FPS, but sometimes when I play the next time I don't get. Sometimes I even try like restarting my PC to see whether, okay, probably it's just the services. I use the Omen app to clean my RAM, make sure it's totally clean, but I still get the same inconsistencies per match. I can quit this match and return, and I would get a lower FPS for some reason, so I can't really compare. So earlier on, at the lowest settings that we ran the game, we were meant to get at least 100 FPS at lowest settings, but I was getting I think 80 or so. But still, it's still totally playable. Alright, so don't mind me, this is part of my first matches in this game. I'm not good at it. Like, I am trash at this game. So here, this is my brother. In case this is my brother, he's good at the game. Okay, so this is, I think, this is what I mentioned earlier. Look at the FPS right now. It jumped up to 70. Note, this is high. This graphics setting is high. I have to come back and check, and it's currently at high. Okay, let me switch it to Epic. So from 70 FPS, Epic drops it down to 50 to 50 FPS, probably 45% average or 48. Okay, the video may not look like the actual FPS, probably because of the editing software dropped it down, but it was actually very smooth when I was playing. Like, I did not notice any stutter, even though my laptop screen is 144 Hz and this is just a 60 FPS, but I did not notice. It was still buttery smooth, and I think that's something that should be mentioned. So yeah, everything was working fine. Then I think I started noticing some issues here that has to do with the GPU's dedicated RAM. The video RAM is some textures started either disappearing or loading in late. Like sometimes my body will just get blurred, there'll be no textures on my character's skin, or some objects details will just become a blurry shape and probably load back in later on. Once I increase to cinematic is then you begin to notice it. So currently, I mean, this is 60 FPS at Epic, which is totally playable. Alright, so this is cinematic. Now cinematic, it still looks good, like it's playable. This is, I was expecting it to reach 30 FPS or totally, but this is playable. Now this is what I was talking about. If you noticed earlier, if you can rewind a few seconds back, you notice that my character had no detail, did no texture, so as objects around my character. You can notice some things are loading in late, like see this whole wall, the stairs, there are no details. Look at the ground, no details. My character, no details. It has to do with the GPU's video RAM that was running out. This is just a 4 gig and it's already full, totally being used. So cinematic is kind of hectic for it, but to my surprise it was still playable. Like currently we're at 60 FPS in a building, 70. Okay, so I just turned on the frame gen to see what I'll get, but it's totally playable with the frame gen, but it's not enjoyable if textures are not being loaded in. It's just everything is just blur, no details. So yeah, I think that should be it for the video. Alright, I just added this part to help those that probably have the same game or in other games aren't getting good performance. Now this is what I do to get my kind of performance. Okay, so as you can see, this is my CPU, the Ryzen 5, same with every Victus 15, and it's running at its base clock speed of 3 gigahertz. Okay, so that's 3.2 right there, and that is okay, that is perfect. But to get my kind of performance, all you have to do is open your control panel, open your power option, and click on the ultimate performance. Now what this does is it gives your CPU all the power it needs to run at its best. Now you can see from 3 gigahertz to 4.1, 4.2, I think the highest is 4.3 gigahertz, which if enabled in games, it reduces stutters, and games like Fortnite run far better because that game is CPU based. So my GPU is the RTX 2050, which has the 4 gigabyte of video RAM, and if you notice my RAM usage is high, it's just 16 gig, just is because I have the DaVinci Resolve open and some apps. Now I'll show you a hack I use, which is commonly used by people who know about it. Now every Victus comes with an Omen application. You can see it has a special keyboard, a special button on your keyboard. So all you have to do is click that, and what this does, it closes useless Microsoft services running in your background. Okay, so now watch this trick. But before I get to that, if you notice, I have a profile of all my games, and the profile mode is set to automatic. So immediately I launch a game, it launches a specific settings that I set for that game. Okay, now let me show you how to clean your RAM. Okay, like now I just switched to Arcadius and switched back to my default settings by mistake, but you understand what I'm trying to say. So all you have to do is go into your performance settings and go into booster. Now what this booster does is it has some setting option by the left side that helps improve game. You tick the ones you want. Okay, so my RAM usage is currently at 12 gigs, but with just one click it brings it down from that to I think 7 gigs or so, thereabout. And that, you can see the graph, it brought it down by a lot. Okay, the reason why you may say, okay, I still have high RAM usage, I have my editing software open and a couple of things I'm currently doing, like I'm editing this current video, don't ask me how, but yeah, so that's the reason why my RAM is that high. But on an idle laptop, your RAM shouldn't exceed 5.5 gigs of idle usage. So yeah, that's that. And this is what I do before I game. So I already have each option set for each game. So if I launch Acriders, it automatically cleans the RAM, does everything. Okay, I'm just going to skip this, can't, no, okay, nobody saw that. So I'm just going to, it's going to automatically clean the RAM, select the right game, put my laptop speed at the max. And something you should know, if you notice my CPU temperature is at 47 degrees while it's not being used, is because of the ultimate performance. Now you should only enable this option before you game, and once you're done, the same way you turn it on is the same way you should turn it off. Okay, so if you're not gaming, you should put it back in balanced or efficiency. You can notice the temperature drops back to 50-ish degree here. So once you want to game, just turn that on for maximum performance. And if your CPU temperature is reaching 90, it is unsafe, but anything from 85 below, it is safe for this particular version of laptop. Now HP Victus 15 has a good cooling system. It's not perfect, it's not, but it's good for its CPU, so that cools it down enough. So from 85 degrees down to 50, it is okay. So you can see it's cooled down and it is perfect. If you're not gaming or you just want to use your laptop for business or something, you can switch it to echo mode. What echo does, like what is written below it, it limits the performance. It dials down your laptop screen's refresh rate from 144 to 60. Now if you want to be comfortable with this app, you can just create profiles like I did, and immediately you open and game, it undoes all these settings by itself and applies the perfect settings for more performance. So I think that should be that. You can see my RAM usage is deep down because of I cleared services from 12 to 7. Okay, it's not still at the optimum because I have DaVinci Resolve open, yeah, and some stuff. So currently I'm going to leave that ultimate because it's plugged in. I don't need that much power. And if you want me to make a video of me optimizing, like a full video of PC optimization, you can drop it in the comment section and I'll see to that. Make sure you like, subscribe, and wait on for the next video. Thank you.